Harbor Freight. Okay, everyone in America, we love Harbor Freight because I'm a Chinese shill. I like their little outposts in America where they sell you crazy stuff, not just tools. You get like slingshots, all kinds of weird stuff, survival gear that's made in China. Right? But in terms of the future, right, we saw they took it down now, but we saw a really cool machete fight in DR, Dominican Republic, where the loser, the winner lost his hand, but the loser lost his life. So I have a feeling with the recent migrations, okay, that we're gonna be dealing with machetes more and more as we get older. So, in order to have a solution here, the machete solution, you should get to Harbor Freight, and we have a list of various items here and how they fared against the flattened, sharpened, cheap steel that is the machete. And you have experimented with this in actual usage as of recent.
Yes, it was. We wanted to do improvised weapons against machetes. It was supposed to be Eureka and I, but he was sick, so Sean and I planned on doing it. We had an umbrella which got ruined. It postponed my simulated death a little bit longer than the other weapons.
Okay.
The problem with the umbrella is to effectively stop a man with it, you got to use it with two hands, which means you're going to lose your lead hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one-handed, I just delayed my demise. I think it would have worked much better against a knife or a club. We used since the machetes were dull, we used a broken rattan stick that was light. Okay, which I would have to score a couple of shots like on the side of the big man's head to even stop him. I didn't last that long, and that's when I think I lasted like 15 seconds, and that's when I took a stroke I could still feel. I had a good saber mask, and Sean came down with his dull machete, and it hurt, and I can still feel it like right here. So he'd have been prying that thing out of my split skull, okay, if that was a sharp machete, and I did. Heck, if that was the sharp machete and I had the defensive mask on, I might have still been killed. That was nasty. But, so those two were fails, because the weapons were too light to effectively stop him, even though like one of the shots hurt.
Alright, so you're testing these out now.
So we have these other things.
Let's go through the item list here. Okay, the good white people. Right? And so we got alright, number one. Alright, focus. I'm gonna have to do this. No. Okay, hey. Okay, number one, fiberglass, 1 pound fiberglass rubber mallet for $6.99. Okay.
We didn't use that. I was like, yeah, no way, I'm gonna die. It was just too short against the machete.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring. You want something with some length to it.
So we bought that to use as a training tool to develop forearms on the rope snake that I made for Sean to hang in his
rope
gym.
snake. We will do a video.
So
of
that
the
was
rope
really
snake.
a training tool,
right.
And we'll do that against knives.
Okay.
Okay, it's not big enough to use against a machete. Really.
Alright, so now we'll go to the next item here. 24-inch gooseneck, wrecking bar, $9.99.
That worked, and that's what most people call a crowbar.
Yeah.
A crowbar is really a big bar that's got like a crowfoot on the bottom of it. They use for like prying big machinery up.
Yeah.
What we've in cities have pretty much called crowbars is the one with the hook on the bottom. So I held it like this was a hilt curved around here in case we got close so I could punch with it. I had already used the other machetes and they were too heavy to really fence with.
Okay.
Against the or other bars, they were too heavy to really fence with against the machete. So I held it back in the shoulder load. I think I did one parry, and I went on the attack and I got him.
Yeah,
I hit him right here
with
the crowbar, and he declared that he would have been out if he didn't have a mask on. So that's something I would highly recommend. But you got to use it up here. And against a machete, a towel or a jacket or a shirt would make a world of difference.
Well, in that video, right,
too heavy defense.
In that video I mentioned, my man had his lead hand hanging out there, which is why Italian saber guys would keep their other hand behind their back. Because man, that thing flew off like a fucking rocket. Holy shit!
Right.
Right. But that we'll do a video on shields for the hand. Because you know what, you should have a shield. I'm just saying, but it doesn't have to be what you think. But all right, let's continue. All right, 17-inch offset ripping chisel, $7.99.
Okay, so that's the smaller version of that wrecking bar, and I hit Sean once on the glove with it, but it wasn't the weapon hand, and I hit him on his bare arm,
Oh,
and he just shrugged it off.
yeah, well, he's a
Yeah,
stud.
yeah, you're right. So he's a stud. So I
He's
was
a
like,
child.
yeah, that's was no longer than the machete he was using, and he kind of backed up when I hit him with it, but he shook it off, and then I was like, yeah, my only chance is to go in and get him.
You get him, man.
And I didn't have enough balls to do that, so I went on the defense.
You
and he
got-
just butchered me.
You got watermelon balls. What are you talking about? All right.
It was
all right.
bigger and quicker than me, and I was like, no, I'm not going in there. And you don't really want to eat like a machete shot in the
No,
ribs.
no. Well,
you know.
yeah. Well, like I said, in that video
Or
again.
on the shoulder. I didn't have any like shoulder pads in.
Right.
If I took one down here,
I mean,
I could've-
referencing that video, the guy who took the other guy's hand off, you thought that he messed that dude up. That guy died. He bled to death.
Yeah.
So the winner was the guy that lost his hand.
yeah, even dull machetes, son, they'll crack your bones pretty easy.
Yeah, yeah. So, ooh, okay, hold on a second. All right, well I'll figure something out. So let's go to the next thing here. 24-inch alignment pry bar.
Too heavy.
Too heavy,
You have to
$9.99.
totally go on the attack with that. If you tried to find, even if you got carpenter forearms, which I do, even though I wasn't a carpenter, just because of the stick training.
Okay.
One-handed, it's too slow against any type of blade. You just got to go in and do a suicide attack with that.
All right, well we're not doing that.
Right.
All right, 30-inch alignment pry bar. That's got to be better.
Even more so. You got to go on the attack. Really, most people are going to have to hold it with two hands. Extremely nasty weapon, but if he's got a machete, you are getting cut.
All right.
It's just too heavy to use as a defensive weapon.
All right,
against
so
the blade.
pretty much out of all of these, the only one out of this list that seemed to do the job was the 24-inch, the gooseneck wrecking bar, the 24-inch gooseneck wrecking bar. So,
Which is what most people think of as a crowbar.
all right, so there's merit to that.
And
So-
if you hold it with the hook down here, of course we didn't get that close because I didn't want to be that close to a guy that big, then it also helps with the counterbalance down here. And the chisel end goes back like that, which also helps keep it from just falling forward.
Okay.
And when you stroke with it, you got to pull it right back in. If you reach with it, you're going to be too slow and you're going to get cut.
All right, so obviously, of course, the obvious thing is going to be, who's going to jump in here. Hey man, I pull my gun out, and I'll shoot him.
Next year, we're going to use airsoft guns,
Oh.
and we're going to test the 21-foot rule. We'll do seated guy with a concealed carry gun. We'll do standing guy with concealed carry against a guy with a knife, and we'll give the younger guys a knife and make the older guys shoot and draw.
Nice. There
Okay?
you go.
And
Well,
we'll
yeah.
see how that. We'll see how
We'll
that.
see how that works. Well, it's like, yeah, man, I'll just shoot him, man. It's like, yeah, man, I'll see you in the news, brother.
We might even do that in
And
September or October down in Tennessee.
I will honestly say at this point that if you are a gun guy and you actually use it, and then now you're gonna spend months and years on the television just to start off, I will laugh at your eyes. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So.
Well, if I was king, everybody that came across the border or flew into the country from a third world country, I would give them a handle of rum
Yes.
and a machete.
I love. Don't you love this guy? I love this guy. All
I'm
right.
serious.
I know. That's why I love. I don't. That's why I love you, because you just mean it. So, all right, bro. Okay, there you go. Go shopping. Harbor Freight.